Welcome, friends, to Ramul Thran, the Portentous Domains. Here on the shores of the Gulf of Destiny, 7 intrepid dwarves have staked their claim. Fisher dwarves all. Our dwarves have set out to build a haven, a shining beacon for all who love the gifts of the sea. They envision a cozy restaurant here on the banks of this gently flowing river. Only the most lavish of meals will be served here, drawing visitors from the farthest corners of the continent. To Tatlochaton Gustongopop Zuglar. Fishhall, the awe-inspiring feast of ships. Join us as we strike the earth, tame this wilderness, and cast our line into the waters of destiny herself. Our dwarves, upon finding this most excellent little clearing in the trees at the bend of the river, stopped their wagon and with no more than a silent nod began unloading their goods. Harassed and slightly injured almost immediately by giant Kia, they rushed to dig out a room and get their supplies inside. With the carpenter shop established, beds have been made as well as tables and chairs for the most humble offices of our bookkeeper and manager. We're carving out space for a little tavern and dining hall, just a little cozy corner to cook, brew, and gather to celebrate the catch of the day. We are, of course, getting right to work choosing and exploring the many fishing grounds here. We have already begun dreaming of a substantial fishing lodge to be set on the nearby shores of the Gulf, the waters of which stretch beyond the horizon. We have high hopes for a great bounty of sea creatures soon to come. Thus quickly passed our first season here at Fishhall, and new migrants have already arrived. This is due, no doubt, to the sterling reputation of our founding 7 dwarves. We'll be getting to know each of them in good time. For now, meet Sharky, our expedition leader. A born leader indeed, he is fearless and strong, disdains independence and tranquility. He's a team player who's going to keep things moving around here. At the same time, he is gracious and a romantic at heart. Sounds like a restaurant owner. With our basic necessities taken care of, we're wasting no time digging down through the aquifer in search of dry stone. We need to find a permanent home for our workshops, and we need stone, ore, and gems to satisfy the needs of our restaurant. Leading this effort is Flounder Atirsaxul. Though quick to despair, she's tough, impatient, and values perseverance, as evidenced by her decision to become our head miner. She and her team are making quick work of this job and have already located a dry layer of limestone. This should do quite nicely. We'll let them dig this out and revisit this floor later. There's still a lot to do, and I'm certain everyone is looking forward to proper bedrooms as well. We have welcomed several skilled dwarves in this first wave of migrants, including a furnace operator, a leather worker, and Zaz Stukonerol, the clerk. He is a legendary record keeper, and we can't believe our good fortune. We know Zaz will keep the books clean here at Fishhall, everything above board here. He will immediately get to work serving as our bookkeeper. We'll get you a nicer office someday, Zaz. Back at our workshop level, things are coming right along. We've got stoneworker shops in place, and we'll get to work making blocks and some nice stone tables and thrones. At the same time, we're expanding this area and plan to include all of our necessary workshops here for a long time to come. This now includes a mechanics shop because we are in need of mechanisms. Mechanisms to power a drawbridge on our newly designed perimeter wall. We have a beautiful spot here in this clearing, surrounded by trees. As you enter the clearing, you'll come to an outer wall, made of wood to blend in nicely with the surroundings. The drawbridge will offer some protection, with the wall extending to the river on each side. Our restaurant and forest entrance will be built within this space. We'll set up a trading post here in the outer courtyard and a farming operation to support the restaurant. Speaking of the restaurant, we have our test kitchen going already. We've got Marlin here, our brewer, and one of our founding dwarves preparing the fish that are already pouring in from the nearby streams and the Gulf. And expertly crafted, some would even say lavish meals are already being workshopped here. Let's see what's cooking today. This is a stack of 13 finely prepared steelhead trout roast. The ingredients are well-minced raspberry, finely minced cavefish, and well-minced steelhead trout. Delightful. And just in time for the caravan from the mountain homes to arrive, we will certainly be trading many barrels of lavish meals. We intend to make a name for ourselves here, so these valuable meals will go a long way towards establishing our reputation. We'll just need to throw up that trade depot real quick and send for our broker, Tradewinds, who is off fishing, as he should be. Tradewinds came along as one of our founding 7 with the express purpose of managing our fortress and brokering the many trades we intend to make with our neighbors. Since Zaz came on to help lighten the load, Tradewinds has been taking a lot more time for himself out here. Alone with the flowing water and his own flowing thoughts, out in nature, the way a fisher dwarf was meant to live. Unwilling to peel Tradewinds away from his fishing reverie, we asked Zaz to cover this year's trade with the caravan. And an excellent trade it was. We were quite pleased with how much we lightened the load of our brethren from the mountain home. Our meals were very well received. We put in a request for a wide variety of milks which we'll use to make the many cheeses our chef desires. And now, with our first real test as a fortress behind us, we watch as the beautiful fall foliage sets in, and we begin construction of the restaurant proper. There we go. It is now the 2nd of granite. We've worked straight through our first winter here and are well on our way to realizing the first dream of this fortress. The walls are up and floors are being put in as we speak. Everything is made from wood, and there are thick wooden columns throughout the ground floor. We like the ambiance, and we, perhaps uncharacteristically for a dwarven outpost, wish to blend in with nature here. We've moved the trading post. This area will one day be covered for the comfort of our trading partners. A small farm is in place, and our animals are being pastured out here in the courtyard. We have a small farmer's workshop here for our milking and shearing needs. There are 2 floors to the restaurant, each with outdoor decks overhanging the river where visitors can relax, socialize, eat an excellent meal, and take in the splendor of our surroundings. While many of our dwarves spent the winter working on the construction of the restaurant, which the dwarves have been calling the blockaded mushroom, by the way, our miners were hard at work below. In fact, they've just recently discovered some expansive caverns not too far down. They're currently working to excavate the usable spaces. There seems to be a central column of stone here, surrounded by caverns. We're digging out spaces for bedrooms, temples, and the like. Perhaps we'll have windows overlooking the caverns for some of these rooms. That would be interesting. We are making space for a barracks right next to our entryway into the caverns. We figure it's prudent to have the military nearby. We're not entirely sure what we may be disturbing down here. There's a family of troglodytes we can see across the way, but they don't seem to be able to reach us. They are multiplying at an alarming rate, but so far, no problems here. Ooh, and we did have this little gremlin sighting. We take this to be a sign of very good luck and good fortune to come. Godspeed, little guy. Regardless of any possible risks, there's a lot of gems and cavern trees down here. We are making the most of it and are rapidly increasing the wealth of our little outpost. Thankfully, our miners have discovered plenty of iron and fluxstone, so we're starting steel production and should be able to defend ourselves effectively should the need arise. Our continually expanding workshop floor is bustling these days. There's smelting, metalworks, stoneworks, and textile production all in full swing. Migrants continue to steadily arrive almost every season. Fishhall is growing fast, and we're very pleased with our prospects. It seems like we blinked and another year passed. Our citizens now have comfortable bedrooms to sleep in and new clothing to wear. We've had a monumentally successful second trade with the mountain home. We bought out almost the entire caravan. Our prepared meals have earned quite a reputation. The outpost liaison is already very comfortable here. He's telling stories right now in the upstairs bar. He seems to have made quick friends with Flounder. She's taking some well-deserved time off from mining. Yes, it's only been 2 years, and it seems like people are talking. We're getting plenty of visitors, and they are all singing the praises of the blockaded mushroom, the incomparably delicious seafood, the ambiance, the music, and the delightful company of those sturdiest of dwarves, the dwarves of Fishhall, the awe-inspiring feast of ships.